and welcome to CEO Insights. I'm Marilyn de Guzman with Investing News Network. We're at PDAC in Toronto, and I'm here with Aneel Waraich, Executive Vice President and Director of Steppe Gold. Hello, Aneel.
Hi there.
Good to have you today.
Thank you.
First, can we start off with an overview of your company and bring us up to date on your priority projects?
Sure. So we are a gold and silver producer in Mongolia, so listed on the main board of the Toronto Stock Exchange. We're producing from our heap leach project, what we call our phase one project, so about 40 to 50,000 ounces per annum at about $800 to $850 all in cost. That's our phase one operation. Below the oxides is a sulfide deposit, about 1.6 million ounces of reserves. That'll be over 100,000 ounces per annum for a 12-year mine life. So that's our focus while continuing to produce over the next couple of years is to construct our phase two expansion.
Right.
So we'll become a circa 100,000 plus ounce producer over 10 plus years of mine life. And just yesterday, we announced another acquisition outside of Mongolia, where we acquired 2.5 million ounces, a very similar type of project in Peru, where it's 600,000 ounces of oxide or leachable material, and another 1.9 million ounces of sulfides. So we've doubled our asset base as of yesterday.
That's exciting. So that one is gold as well?
Yep,
Yeah. Okay.
Gold as well. Yep.
That sounds great. So let's talk about Mongolia. So
Sure.
you've been there operating for quite some time. How is it? I want to talk about sort of what it's like for a producer like yourself in operating in a jurisdiction like Mongolia, and how important it was local community engagement in your operations there.
Sure. Actually, that's very important. That's important for any miner, no matter where you're operating, not just Mongolia. The more local you are, the more buy-in you'll get locally, provincially, and federally. So before we even broke ground in 2018, we went around a 1,400 square kilometer radius, which is 350 people only in a very not dense area, and told them what we're doing, how they can benefit, and how they can even get jobs. So we went around to everyone, told them what we're doing, who we are, and what we plan to do, and how they can benefit. And today, now we employ almost 300 local Mongolians on site. 75% come from within the province. So we've done a great job of, local. So it's been a great journey so far.
Right. So what are your insights in terms of developers? So because you're going to be, I'm assuming you're going to be, again, moving to Peru or having operations in Peru. So what are some of the social, cultural, economic considerations when you're developing relationships with the local communities?
Yeah, I think it's important to educate them how they benefit and how we can educate them. So in Mongolia, firstly, we've provided about 1,000 scholarships to the locals. We've actually hired from our scholarship recipients who now work on our team today. So we've actually educated the locals and brought them up to where I would call unskilled labor force to a skilled labor force. So that's a huge benefit. Something that a lot of people didn't see or could know that it could happen. So that's a huge benefit. We procure all of our materials, so whether it's food, materials for site, all locally as well. So there's an indirect benefit, to not just 300 people that we employ, to now hundreds or more in the region. So that's the same approach that we would apply to Peru. How they can benefit, how we're obviously environmentally friendly, doing things properly, how we can leave this property in the future, leave it better than when we started the operation.
Yeah, and so from an investor's perspective, when you're talking to them about your ESG, because when making investment decisions, I guess they have a lot of considerations. They educate themselves about the asset and the company. What about in terms of ESG? Like, what are you seeing among investors? Is that something that's top of their mind? Like, when they're assessing a company?
Yeah, so ESG is very topical, as you know, and it's been for a few years. But that's something that's ingrained in our culture anyway. So when we started this company in 2016, 2017, no one forced us to talk about ESG or do ESG. That's just what we do. So environmentally, we've planted trees. We're part of the Billion Tree Initiative. We've set up a meat and dairy co-op locally. So we're doing things that aren't required, but now are required in this new world. It's something that we would do anyway. So environmentally, socially, and obviously, all that stuff is, we check those boxes without being asked, I guess.
So that's I guess that's one of the things that would set Steppe Gold apart.
Yeah.
Because it's not just just a checklist in a tick box, right?
Exactly. Yeah. It's not just a checkbox that we have to do because investors require it. It's something that how you build a real business in any community, in any country you do business is you should be doing this. I mean, in a way, miners are ESG. We've been proactively doing ESG anyways, because the only way you can operate in any jurisdiction is by doing so, because otherwise you won't get that buy-in. You have to treat the land, like I said, and leave it better than when you started. You have to treat the people well and show them the benefit, and that's what we're doing.
And you mentioned something interesting earlier about training, local communities so that making unskilled skilled, right?
Yeah.
And I guess that's an issue that's emerging in the mining industry because of an aging workforce and then training new skilled workers. Can you talk a bit more about your strategy in terms of succession planning and making sure that you have a new breed of skilled workers coming in?
Yeah, so I mean, for Mongolia specifically, obviously it's a young population. So a majority of the population is actually under 35. They are open to educating themselves on mining. They understand what everything they use comes from mining. So they're a little bit fast forward. They're certainly understanding more than I say the past generations. And so what we do with the scholarship programs is let them go to the institute, learn about mining, and now they can obviously apply it on our site. So certainly there's a workforce that's definitely looking to get upgraded in terms of the skill set, and we're providing that, and we've done that. So it's really nice to see how you can convert unskilled, I won't say unskilled, but more labor to a skilled labor force. It's fantastic because it benefits generations to come.
Mm-hmm. So now, I guess in the next, you'll be busy in the next few months, looking at your Anacortes, is that the Peru acquisition?
Yeah.
So what's the plan for the next, for the near term?
Sure. So we have a lot going on. So one is we are a producer, we're generating cash flow. Two, we're building our expansion as we speak. Over the next 18 months, we're going to bring our expansion online, 18-24 months in Mongolia, bring our expansion online and have a real mine life of scale. We're doubling our workforce. While that's going on, we'll obviously put some resources into Peru. There we'll start drilling, we'll do the social, educate everyone in the region who we are and what we're going to do, how we've done it in Mongolia and how they'll benefit. And we'll move that project to a feasibility and hopefully permitting over the next 18 to 24 months. So once phase 2 in Mongolia is up and running, we'll then go and build another heap leach, as we did in Mongolia, now in Peru. So, sequentially, without diluting our resources, without doing too much at the same time, you can chip away at the new project while bringing the next project online, and then move some of our team who built the first project in Mongolia to go build the next heap leach in Peru.
So how similar or how different are you anticipating Peru would be as a jurisdiction for your next operation?
So Peru is actually more advanced than Mongolia in terms of mining. Mongolia is home to world-class discoveries in mines like Oyu Tolgoi that employs 15,000 Mongolians today. It's one of the biggest copper mines in the world, I think number 4. So certainly there's that, and Mongolia relies on mining. It's the number 1 driver of the economy, employment, GDP, taxes, all that. So Peru is very similar in that. It's a mining jurisdiction. They get mining. We're actually near 3 other producing mines. So it's not new. They rely on mining as well. There's a very strong workforce in country. So it's actually a bit more advanced, to be honest, than Mongolia. It's probably 20 plus years ahead of where Mongolia is today, given that they've had mines operating for many, many, many decades. So it's nothing new to them. So we're actually going to a more established jurisdiction. We're in a frontier market in Mongolia, an emerging market. Peru is an established, I would say, tier 1 jurisdiction, just like Canada.
That's exciting. Well, we're looking forward to having you again in our show in the near future to give us more updates on what's going on with the
Absolutely.
company. Thanks for
so
joining
much.
us.
Thank you.
And thanks for watching, everyone. Join us again next time for another engaging conversation on CAO Insights.